everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to an installment that is equal parts quick view and equal parts this versus that. We've got here the Genius RC4WD drive Genius Sem Fronteira, which is very tall and very skinny and looks like those Mudbog tractor tires. We tested this guy somewhat recently. It does well. It's X2SS. It's kind of a given that it's going to do relatively well. They do come fitted with these, which are not bad. By RC4WD drive standards, these are fairly good. They may be a little over firm. I don't know. But the quick view portion of it coming in is straight out of Belgium. That is very fluorescent. ReVolt inserts specifically not just for these, but also specifically for Wolverine, who sits behind me awaiting his tires. With some small exceptions, using the ReVolt inserts and others of similar design has brought me to the conclusion, has brought me to a question and a conclusion. The question is, why are more places not doing dual stages like this, where we have completely different densities between the two? And I don't know how these work, honestly. So different materials, and also in the dual stage, it's got this part is shaped, they won't slip apart. They like nest together. More manufacturers should be, and makers should be doing them this way, in my opinion, because then you make an outer, you can make an inner to suit a number. Once you make a 2-2 inner, which is what this is, it goes in there, you just make outers to suit. I have a pair of softs and a pair of mediums. Some are already mounted. That inner is firm, and I think that firm inner is honestly going to help, because that is a pretty tall sidewall, especially relative to the width of the tire. So if this was viewed in the way we view 1/1 car tires with an aspect ratio, 40 series, 50 series, this tire has to be somewhere close to a 100 series, in which the sidewall is the same as the width. These tires are as tall as they are wide, and by height I mean there to there. I don't mean there. Anyway, what I need to do is remember which tire this is. It's this one. We're mounting them on what I consider to be the regular 2.2s around here, which are, let's be fair, a hair wide for this tire, because the Sem Fronteiras are skinny. For a tire of this height, they're even a little skinnier than like Proline Ibex. So this is the inside and this is the outside, I think. We'll double check. Yeah. No bubble juice on these, I think primarily because the insert is the inner ring is basically the width of the tire. Maybe a little wider. I want to say internally these tires probably around 36 millimeters wide, something like that. And that ring is like 35 millimeters wide, so they kind of shoehorn in there. And there's really no tightness. They don't appear to slip. As always, I mounted the other three up already. These inserts, any 3D printed insert, I've yet to find one that doesn't. Any 3D printed insert is going to make mounting the tire easier, because you're not trying to get foam not to interfere with the inner ring and the outer rings. We'll cross tighten it anyway, and then we'll make sure we didn't pooch anything out on the other side. No, we're good. We're good. These feel phenomenally firm from the side, as most 3D printed inserts do. And I know that 3D printed inserts have gotten to a point where it's almost as if they've achieved like a love it or hate it. Like, some people really don't like 3D printed inserts. To me, that's kind of like an overall dislike of fusions. I don't know. You don't hate them. You think you hate them because you haven't found the application yet. These scored, I looked it up, these scored a 96.9 in their last test. I wonder if I've thrown that away. I wonder if I've already had to delete that. I don't have anywhere approaching unlimited storage status, so stuff tends to be in the thing for a little while, and then it gets thrown away. I'm gonna look. Editing takes place in a different place and time from where we are right now. If I still have the files of this running the test, I would love to get some inserts, some inset video, some split screen, some, what do they call it when there's a little mini, like a pop out? I would love to get some side by side to show this on a 3D versus this on a foam. I have installed the softs in the front and the mediums in the rear, and this guy weighs 3,000 grams exactly on his stock setup, and I informed the maker at ReVolt that he weighs 3,000 grams. So these should be made for a vehicle that weighs 3,000 grams, and I am noticing just a little bit of static bag. Ooh. A little bit of static bag front and rear. These should do well. These are one of the very narrow tires that tends to punch a little harder than others, and there's really nothing to do. 10 stages of the tire test protocol. This is it going to get better? And if so, how much? How much? Because I'm desperately trying to remember. Were there over-collapse issues? Were there moments where I was like, oh, that's the insert betraying us? I don't know. I make a couple of these videos. And here we go, with absolutely no possible way of me recollecting how these did before. So we go, okay, all right. Tiny little hesitation right there at the top. There's a trick to this. There's a trick to this. Notice this is pure vertical right here. So what we're looking at is, A, that tire is almost the correct thickness to fall between those two boards up there. And second, can we pull over like this using the lowest amount of throttle possible, right? We're splitting the torque. We're looking at what the front tires can do while the rear tires aren't helping. Okay, we get a little side. Okay, so I don't have side lug to work with right there. This is an excellent bad position. Rear tires are pushing. Front tires, come on, get on it. Nah, just gets over pushed. Kind of come back around. There we go. Got to use a little more throttle modulation, and I think that is a tire with zero side lug. The Sem Frontiera, which exists, is a real thing. From what I understand, down Brazil way, they make these by cutting them out of old landing gear tires from airplanes. Hence the narrowness and the height. And they are ferociously expensive in the real world version. Okay, usual amount of shuttle there. I want to do a cutback. I want to grab side right there, okay? We're going exactly the way I would like. It also occurred to me there's really no point in running this wet. Insert isn't going to change wet performance that I'm aware of. Another thing about Wolverine, even on these, which are very skinny, he behaves as if he weighs half of what he actually does. Again, we're splitting the torque. I want to see that rear end. Nice cut on the inside. Okay, we are almost to a two-wheel motion. Really cut throttle down. Trying to grab anything with that high side. There we go. It is a surprisingly maneuverable tire for how skinny it is. Would I go on record this early on and say that we've seen an all-over improvement? Look how skinny those are. Have we seen an all-over improvement on the inserts? This is so much better. There is a maneuverability to them that I would hope for from any tire. Or let me restate that. I would hope from every tire, but are seldom rewarded by any tire. Forward drive is great. Forward drive is like that's our first point of testing, but maneuverability is where it's at. Get right. This is, again, splitting the torque. I need a little more this way? Okay. Get right through there. This is some Fronteira stuff. There are points where if you put the tire in that spot, you get nothing. You have to use a lot of steering input to turn this tire. And I mean that not in the most obvious way. I mean, you can get to a point where that real chevron-y tread just spins. And you've got to put a little attitude on it to change the directionality of the block, lug, whatever we're calling them. I want to get to a spot where we get right there. Okay, we can do nothing, and then up, the tiniest amount of steering input. Now that is, in general, a hallmark of a very maneuverable tire, and these are acting extraordinarily maneuverable right here. That was like some wizardry right there that we just accomplished. We keep that front down. Okay, I'm going to try to hook that top side. Yeah, we're getting a lot of pull from there. Come across here. The rear end's not shuttling at all. And lamp side is the tougher side. I'm also noticing, I cannot recall accurately with any accuracy. Were these tires happy at a wide range of throttle inputs? Because now they really are. Like, just as composed and as controllable at 50% throttle as they are at like sub 20% throttle. And that's really good. Control at very low throttle inputs tends to indicate a lot of forward drive. Control at moderate to high levels of throttle input tends to be interpreted as a good amount of maneuverability. So now we have forward drive and maneuverability. So far, I mean, it certainly feels above. I want to try it, right? I wanted to try something. There's the far right-hand cut, and then there's like an off-hander right here. Get around that, use that lug, pull this way, and get the rear. No slip. You can find, if you find the line, you can find a no-slip approach. See, there we go. We're in a nothing. Soon as one of those bars catches, it's a wonderful collaboration here. I often say that I don't want to get up. I often say that there's a relationship between insert and tire, obviously, but some execute it better than others. And man, I was having a good time climbing over that sign. There's a real collaboration going on here, X2SS and those ReVolt inserts. Like, these are phenomenally maneuverable. So maneuverable. It does start to fall apart a little. And I don't mean the tire insert collaboration. I mean Sem Frontiera with these inserts. This is remarkably good. This is really good. There is an absolute level of maneuverability there. It doesn't change the fact that these tires are super skinny and they look weird. And they don't have a ton of side lug, so not usually my jam. And also, you have to think in terms of time and effort. Like, why is what it comes down to ultimately. Why the Sem Frontiera with the ReVolt? What are you trying to achieve that cannot be achieved through simpler means, I guess? The everyday footwear for our man Wolverine is LP ruptures, 2 LP ruptures, with stock inserts in them. And they're really good. We're going to get a bit more ground clearance out of these, but this is basically bogger size, 1/9 bogger size. Why? And this is a real problem for me right now, because I would put these at very near or at the level of the LP rupture. And the LP rupture are outstanding. Look at these. And if we're listening to lug noise, the lug noise is absolutely minimal. Let's do the over the top. Any line you point at, you go. Will that have enough? Yeah, sure. They are super neutral. Like, less energy return. It definitely feels like less energy return than even with a single stage foam. These are glued down. This combo, where we are no longer a 96.9, not close to that. This combo is definitely up there in around that 98 area, and I have to call it differently. This is not a quick view of the tire. We've already run the tire. There was the advantage of no side lug right there. There's also something that I have to figure is the insert more than the tire. We can get real over the CG, like we should fall. We should be falling. But we have enough resistance in the insert. Just set that front down. Set it down. There we go. Grab edge. I need a spot where I can grab edge, but we have a little too much lift. So introduction of stability for sure. Can we hook over top of this? Do we have to take this a little bit of a no side lug line? Okay, that's too far. Well, I don't know. Is that an easy out escape? Has anybody escaped out that way? And again, the responsiveness to different levels of throttle input. Right there, why am I not falling? Just lean into it a little more. Yeah, it's kind of answering why. I don't think the ruptures do that. Not on single stages. And then obviously descending. We don't have that kind of collapse. Come around, try the narrow one, which this should be a little bit of an advantage to the Fronteiras. They're skinnier. No side lug as well, so we're not going to get stuck up on that board right there. Can we pull right there? Wow! Come on, you can get off your back. I really don't want to get up today. You know what I also want to do? Not break Wolverine. Yeah, these are real agile. Problematic as well. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any rig in the fleet that will run them. Aside from this guy, do I have someone that will fit 2 LP ruptures? Real low on the input there. Oh man! Will that pull? I'm in a terrible position. I can't see at all. I can just see part of the front end pulling. A little more throttle input. Don't fall. All right, we'll take one more chomp at it here. I can see a little better. That right there. That's the stuff. Pretty much pulling across a vertical there. Straight up and down. We want to hook cedar side on the fence side, because we need to get that rear end to pull over right there, right there. Is that easy to do? It is not. It is not a long list. And that was very low throttle input. Let's give it a little straighten out and we'll try the world's worst descent, which is falling off this ledge right here. Just gonna keep, this would be a good one for cruise control, but we're gonna do it manually. We're in two-wheel motion right here. And because the insert acts so neutral, not until I got it bound. Just good. We are absolutely doing the gritty today. From the recent fires, recent relative to this recording, falling from the sky constantly, though you can't see it, is a mixture of not dust, but dirt. I'm assuming dirt and ash. It basically looks like someone built a flying steel mill. And it flew over and it dropped all of that black, like the stuff that's in that magnetic face guy. When you blow it with a blower, it's very heavy. It doesn't like make dust, it just sits on the ground. I can't tell if it's slippery or stickery, but I basically have to carry the blower around with me because even though the sky is, well, let's see, can we do this? Even though this is what the sky looks like right now, it is just a constant downward torrent of this soot. The bottoms of my feet, black, like I've been walking on asphalt, fresh asphalt. Get over there. I don't know, okay, all I can figure is I'm acclimating because I'm barely noticing the lack of side lug. I think that there's enough rigidity from the inner that I can press the sidewall of the tire. This is kind of the Iron Rock philosophy, is it not, Cut Swamper? Is that gonna come around? Is that gonna come around? That's real high on that shot. We just stayed locked there. That's stupid. That's stupid. Not quite, I wouldn't quite call it filthy. You know, we retain the filthy commendation, but I'd call it gross. That was gross. Coming around here, we are going to get the absolute 3D printed capability here. I want to get that right up there. Like, getting this guy to roll out now. I don't want to leave these on here. We're finding somebody. We're finding somebody to hold 525s. That's all it is. These are too good. We can't put these back on the rack. You know why? You know when I said why? I don't know. I still don't know why. I just know yes. Let's take a moment to just soak that in right there. Passenger front, right-hand front, not touching the ground. Driver rear, not touching the ground. We're just on a perfect balance, cross-flex teeter there. These are real good. These are real good. Well, okay. We have a spot that will decide for us. We're gonna hit it last. We're gonna hit that spot last. That will be the grand determiner. Because first, I wanna see if this will do what I think it will do. Soft side. Okay, I need to find the spot where the lug is gonna catch it. Is it there? It's right there. Oh, they're so delicate. You can really aim your way in. Right there. Across the top, cut back. We're gonna get too much over push, or we're gonna get enough from the front. It's out of the line. I wanna stay in it. That's just a wall. It's as high as the tire. Can we get it back? That was filthy. That was filthy. If you get pushed out right side of there, up against that slab, you don't get it back. These do though. We'll do just a quick one here. There's that, there's nothing. A little bit of input, boom. I wanna see this. Oh, no, you gotta stop. Look at the little bunny hop. Oh, boop. Okay, I'm trying to get kick. There we go. We can. But there's so much forward drive. There's just like a little oscilloscope. There's just a little wave. We do moderate high and then down to moderate. We go, wow. That was a little bad catch. We go, whoop. We don't bump. We do little hops. It'll kick the rear end in the air. Front end still pulling. I said I felt like there was less energy return. There is as little energy return as I see from any combo. Okay, there's the one test. This is 98.5 stuff, this combo right here. There's only one thing. One thing between rack and service. And that is, of course, Hans. I have to drive this one-handed because I took off my hat and I'm running out of recording time. I'm looking directly into the eye of the sun, just like Mama told us not to. So we are one-handing right here. Didn't get the entry, but I have this almost inexplicable confidence that they will come back. Okay. Get up over, right there. Stay there. There it is. Now cut, a little more cut. Don't knock the top. There we go. Oh, you've touched it. It's still on. Okay, catch. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to do it blind. All right, I need two hands and no eyes. Oh, it's so bright. Look how much easier my entry is when I can use two hands. Okay, come on. Don't slide. There you go. You know what that is? That is triumph over adversity. Can we do it? Can we show you? There it is, just blasting out the frame. It's red. You know what? I wonder if I can do it. Can I position the camera in the way? No, I can't get out of the sun. No, they're staying. That means I got to remount them on a different set of wheels. Got to go back on his stock wheels. These are so good. I now have one eye closed. Oh, now you got to go back and get the other one. Do you own Sem Fronteiras? Did you buy them and say to yourself, I don't know why, but I have to have those? If you did, just get the inserts, man. Just get them. Just go get them. It happens not often enough. The relationship between the insert and the tire is just that good. Our Genom is the Phoenix here, is the perfect weight for the squids that are inside of his tusks. Perfect. I would change nothing. I would put this combo right next to it, to the point where I am going to willingly, voluntarily, and directly remove LP ruptures from a vehicle in favor of these. These, because they're more fun to drive. Like, there's a capability there. There's no energy return. They operate at super, super low levels of throttle input. They're happy in the medium. I have no... These tires don't have side lug, and I'm taking them voluntarily. It's crazy. What a conversion we've experienced. And this works out for all of us, because now that I'm removing those two uppers, maybe I'll go ahead and test the silicones in them, which I've had hanging on a rack for 2 months. I don't know, maybe. I don't make any promises. What I do promise is that I thank you so very much for watching us here today. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I invite you to list or categorize any questions, comments, or concerns in the comments section below. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and in between now and then, I hope that you won, and I'll do your very best to have a good one, everybody. I'm starting to, my eyes are starting to hurt from the sun, so I should have not taken off my hat, I think is the thing. Don't take off your hats, people. Just leave your hat on. advice for the day.